not concerned about the money. And if you really listen to the Warriors players and Steph Curry, KD, those players, I mean, they've said it multiple times through the media, through different avenues, like, hey, we got money, and it's great to have money, but we want a legacy. We want to differentiate ourselves from other all-stars, from other superstars that's been in the league, from other Hall of Famers that's been in the league. In order for you to do that, you have to win rings, period. So that's what they want. KD was already committed to taking a pay cut. Curry has committed to taking a pay cut if needed. Right now, so far, and this was just talked about, I want to say last night was announced, they have the money to sign Iggy to somewhere between $8 to $12 million a year. Iggy will be back. Exactly.
Wow.
So that's already shaped. That's already being worked out right now. They have enough money to sign Iggy. They have enough money to sign Sean Livingston. The core six will already be back. You still have the three young guys under contract: Kevin Looney, Damian Jones, Patrick McCaw. Patrick McCaw is being groomed to take over for Iguodala in the next few years. So you can expect him to continue to be in a Warriors uniform. Same with Damian Jones. He's being groomed to take that center position. You can expect him in a Warriors uniform. The interesting part will be to see what veteran free agents we can bring in, such as the David West guy, such as Zaja Pachulia, those type of guys who played a good role on our team this year. I mean, David West was solid for us this year. Pachulia was pretty solid. Do those guys come back on minimum deals, on veteran, on the veteran minimum? David West got a ring. Does he want to get another ring? If he wants to get another ring, he'll probably come back on a veteran minimum. If not, then he's probably going to retire. Same thing with Pachulia. JaVale McGee. Those type of things. It'll be interesting to see what those guys do, and then how the Warriors counter and try to get veteran players. I think the Warriors got a great situation because there's always going to be veteran players that are chasing rings. You're always going to find one veteran player, such as a Zach Randolph, for example, who's been linked a lot lately to the Warriors. And I'm not a big fan of that, but it's been linked a lot lately to the Warriors. It's a guy who's willing to take the veteran minimum and come off the bench to win a ring. And that's what you need. You want veterans, that can still give you a little bit of game in short spurts to secure your bench, because you got the young nucleus, you got your core, you got your young nucleus that can give you solid minutes and can put up points.
Yeah, and Zach Randolph, to me, if he's willing to take a pay cut, you got to make that deal happen. He could come in immediately and he could start some games. He could play off the bench some games. You wouldn't have to worry about Zaza unless he wants to come back. I'll probably say sign JaVale McGee. I think he's younger, more athletic. But if Iggy and Sean Livingston are already pretty much in the books, then whoever else would be icing on the cake. And like I said, if Zach Randolph wants to come, that's a huge deal. Ian Clark is a young athletic player, a young shooter. He can do some of everything. If I was another team, I would pay Ian Clark whatever he wants, because he could be a centerpiece for a team. I do think he'll come back to the Warriors. This is what happens when you win championships. When you win championships, people want to stay. They'll take a pay cut. You have a Zach Randolph who may want to come. Who knows? Who may want to fall in line and come to the Warriors? To me, this is going to be compared to a mixture of the Spurs/Patriots of the NBA. When you're going to come here, you have a strong chance to win a championship. Will you have to take a pay cut? Probably so. But the risk and reward is amazing. So, sign Zach Randolph up right now. I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan just because of Zach Randolph's defensive abilities. He has pretty slow feet. He doesn't switch well in pick and rolls and things like that. Offensively, I love Zach Randolph. He's one of the brighter, he's a grinder type player. You love those type of players, man, that just get in the paint and just grind. He rebounds. I mean, the dude can't jump, but somehow he gets a gang of rebounds, man. You
That's
know,
true.
like, and so you love that about players like that, you know. So, you know, he's definitely one of those players I'm like, I'm not super sold on, but I wouldn't mind having him. You know, I would really like some young, but I really like either a long veteran who could switch, which we've been good at you know, recruiting and getting, which is veteran players who's able to switch on defense, such as David West. You know, or a player who has a skill, a specialty skill, such as JaVale McGee, who's a great shot blocker, things like that. Like, I would like to fill the bench with those type of players who are great on defense, you know, give you 2 or 4 points. We don't need them to give us a bunch of points, but play solid defense, hustle hard, you know, and can give our starters a breather. So that's what I'm looking for. You know, Ian Clark, I want Ian Clark to come back. I personally don't think he's going to come back just because I think he is going to get offered a lot of money somewhere, and sometimes, you know, he has 2 rings, you know, so he has 2 rings. Some players never get a ring, you know, and he has 2. So because of that, I mean, the money starts becoming more appealing. It's like, oh, I got 2 rings already. Let me go get my own money and let me make my own, you know, my own name for myself. So you can see a player like that possibly getting, you know, a lot of money, you know, getting $12, $13 million a year thrown at him. If that's the case, he's gone. You know, Warriors can't afford to pay him that. You know,
right.
But I definitely would like to see Ian Clark back. You know, I like to see him back. You know, there's other players I like to see back too. Like I said, David West. I think Matt Barnes is retiring. I think he's done.
Yeah, he got that ring, you know, so I think he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's played for every team. He played for every team in California.
Pretty much.
And
right. Pretty much,
He's played for every team in the Pacific Division. He's played for every team in the Pacific Division. Every team.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
He's put his time in. He's got his ring. You know, he goes out on top. And that's what it is. And it's so funny because I remember earlier in the season where he ended up getting into some trouble, and he was supposed to go to court. And he went to court, and he was like, yo, I need to push my court date back because the day that I'm supposed to come in, the Warriors are going to be playing for a ring.
He was right.
You know, and he was right. So it's definitely cool, man. It's a great, I mean, so many great storylines that came out of this, man. So you definitely enjoy it. And like I said, I'm excited for next year, man. I think my team is poised to win a couple more, so.
I agree. All right, man. Well, appreciate you as always. Definitely had to get you on a special show this week. Normally, this would be the bye week. We like to call it for the BS3 Sports Show, but we had to do one with the Warriors winning.
Oh yeah.
So,
hey, only thing I missed, I thought we was gonna sweep. But you know,
the second time ever. Yeah, I thought it was gonna happen too.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen. So, well, appreciate being on the show. You know, I always love doing this, man. Let's do it again next week. I'll be ready.
Definitely. All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
All right, take care. All right, that was my man, Tyjun Mack. Like we always talk, man, we go way back talking sports. We've been following the Warriors since we were kids. So we didn't just come into this. You know, we've been following the Warriors for a long time. So we got Courtney Harden in the chat room. He says, Warriors will be together for at least 2 years. I agree on that. I think that nucleus definitely. He also says the Warriors have the pieces, young players, and vets. They said they were light years ahead of everyone else, and it is showing. Great analysis, great breakdown right there for sure. Yeah, they are in a position to go on a deep run that I don't know if any team has been able to go on. And really it's just adding in those pieces that they need, which will be some veteran help. It'll be, they don't have any draft picks, but maybe a young player that's unproven that they can bring in. So the sky's the limit. Sky is the limit for these Warriors. So next up, we're going to be talking Rangers, Cowboys, and also got to get my thoughts or his thoughts on KD. That's Tyler Esparza-Powell, who will be calling in here in just a moment. He was big on KD leaving, so I got to definitely get his thoughts on KD winning the championship and how he feels about that. So, we got the College World Series going on right now. The biggest story, though, is actually the pitcher that pitches for Oregon State. If you're not familiar with this story, he actually is not going to be playing in the College World Series at all. And it was allegedly because he's a sex offender. Something happened when he was a young kid, but he was 15 when it happened, and it was a 6-year-old. So I don't know the complete story, but his name is Luke Hemlick. This year, he was 11-1 with a .76 ERA. So the guy was an electric pitcher, but he will not be pitching in the College World Series, which is actually starting today. I think I'm obviously going to go with my Texas squad. I'm going to go with TCU. They're in the College World Series. Like I said, it starts today. And once again, you're tuned in to the BS3 Sports Show. If you're tuned in to the show and you want to join in on the chat room with the other folks in there, join in and you can... What's going on, Tyler?
Ben, how's it going?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you coming on. Short notice. Once again, this is Tyler Esparza-Powell. We love talking Rangers, Cowboys, NBA playoffs. You know, me and him, we talk it all. But I was saying, if you're tuned in, you want to join in on the chat line, go to Spreaker.com, or if you're on the app, click on the comment bubble or box. You can jump in. You might have to log in via your Facebook or your Twitter, but join in. So, Tyler, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited for the weekend. How's it going, Ben?
Good. All right, so right out the gate, I got to ask you a tough one here. KD, does KD get the last laugh? I know you were very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not interested or disinterested of him going to the Warriors. What's your thoughts on him now with the championship? You think it's an asterisk behind that?
Oh, man, I just think Kevin Durant is a loser and will always be known as a loser. Just so sickening to see him win a trophy. I thought all that stuff with his mom was just as cheesy as it gets. Trying to, change his image a little bit on the court, like with the MVPs. We're like, get out of here, man. I don't think that changed many opinions at all. I'm not happy for him. I just think it's a total garbage move, and LeBron never did that. LeBron went to a team that wasn't a playoff team, and I mean, it's just the two things are not the same in any way or form. No, but I was a Kevin Durant fan from the time I was 16 to now, or even like 13, apologies. But yeah, no longer a fan, no longer interested in anything that has to do with him.
So
he took the easy way out, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that, and I agree he did. But the reasoning is because competition is not the same with these players nowadays. A lot of them, they're out for themselves. Some of them are out for the money. And a lot of them do not compete. When they compete, they're competing on a team that's already good. And that's what KD did. And that's what a lot of these players did. LeBron did it. He went on a team, joined with Chris Bosh, adding on to Dwayne Wade. He could have stayed on the Cavs all along, but he went to a team that he could more gel with, number one. But number two, he knew he wasn't going to have to overcompete. He knew he wasn't going to have to because he had those two guys next to him. And that's exactly what KD did. So the definition of competition is different nowadays.